When we think of coal mining, our minds instantly go straight to the field, right? We picture massive heavy machinery, rugged terrain, and just incredibly intense, dangerous physical labor. So compared to all that, the control room or the admin office, well, it looks like a total safe haven. Just sitting at a desk, checking production screens, filing safety documents. I mean, it certainly looks a whole lot physically easier. But here's the thing. Beneath that deceptively safe, quiet appearance, there's actually a massive hidden hazard.
And the reality of that hidden hazard is summed up perfectly by this really vivid industrial metaphor. Bad posture slowly turns the spine into a tired crane cable under constant tension. Man, that is just incredibly accurate, isn't it? We might not literally be hauling chunks of coal on our backs, but the invisible physical toll of prolonged desk work, especially in these high-stress environments, is absolutely intense. Our spines are bearing this massive, continuous load just keeping us propped up over our keyboards all day. So, welcome to this explainer. I am so thrilled you're here with us. Today, we are talking all about transforming passive sitting into active spinal care. We're going to explore the absolutely crucial intersection of ergonomics and physiotherapy, and we're tailoring it specifically for the unsung heroes who are managing operations, tracking equipment, and monitoring CCTV in coal mine offices. All right, let's dive right in and learn exactly how to defend our bodies against the hidden grind of the desk.
Here's our menu of relief for today. We'll start by unpacking the invisible mine office hazards, and then we'll look at the anatomy of desk worker pain. After that, we get incredibly actionable with setting up your workstation and going over some essential physiotherapy desk stretches. Finally, we'll cover the 20-20-20 eye care rule and wrap the whole shebang up with building lasting office health. Okay, first up, the invisible mine office hazards, which is exactly where production pressure meets physical strain. Look, a mining office isn't your run-of-the-mill corporate environment. The folks working here are juggling continuous emergency calls, huge safety responsibilities, and some seriously grueling shift schedules. It's a place where the high stakes of field operations literally filter straight through the screens and right into the bodies of the people managing them. We're talking about continuous screen exposure for monitoring all the surveillance systems, prolonged sitting, and massive shift coordination stress. But the real kicker? Working strictly on a laptop without an external setup? That is the biggest ergonomic villain in these offices, hands down. It forces this deeply bent neck, rounded shoulders, and a ton of wrist strain. Basically, it causes our bodies to dangerously hibernate in office mode, locking us into a state of pure tension for hours on end.
Which brings us to the anatomy of desk worker pain. Let's map these symptoms directly to their source.
If you work at a desk and you've got this dull, aching back, stiff shoulders, or frequent headaches, well, I want to validate those aches for you right now. These aren't just random pains acting up. They are the direct cause and effect results of exactly how we interact with our workstations. It's like a giant puzzle where specific setup failures lead straight to physical breakdown. For instance, poor monitor height links directly to neck pain. We call this tech neck, and it can actually lead to cervical spondylosis and severely reduced neck mobility over time. Or think about long periods of sitting. That places incredibly high pressure on your lumbar discs, giving you that radiating lower back pain. And repetitive typing without any wrist support? Yeah, that's a fast track to carpal tunnel syndrome. Literally every single risk factor here has a very predictable, very painful effect. But hey, the good news is we can fix this. Let's talk about setting up your workstation, or as I like to call it, your invisible suspension system. Think about it like this. Just like the heavy machinery down in the mine needs a proper suspension system to handle that rough terrain, your body absolutely needs an ergonomic chair with adjustable height, lumbar support, and proper cushioning to survive the marathon of a 12-hour shift. So let's break down how this builds into our daily habits. A proper sitting position means your back is fully supported, your feet are completely flat on the floor, and crucially, your knees and elbows are bent at 90-degree angles with your screen sitting directly at eye level. Now compare that to the dangerous stuff we all kind of subconsciously do, the slouching, that forward head posture that constantly pulls on your neck, or continuously crossing your legs. Actually, you know what? I want to enthusiastically urge you, wherever you are, right now, to just check your posture. Go ahead, uncross those legs, plant your feet flat, and sit up straight. It feels better already, doesn't it? All right, moving right along to some essential physiotherapy desk stretches. Let's get some active spinal care going right at your desk. Now that we are sitting properly, let's bring in the physiotherapy. I'm actually going to slow down the pace here for a moment because I'd love for you to actively participate with me right now. Let's convert all that passive sitting into active spinal care.
First up, we need to combat that stiff tech neck. Let's do a quick neck stretch. Just simply tilt your head to the side, gently bringing your ear toward your shoulder. We're going to hold this for a count of 10, really feeling that nice release along the side of the neck. Normally, you'd repeat this 5 times on each side. Okay, now for some shoulder rolls. Slowly roll your shoulders backward in a smooth circular motion. Let's do a couple right now. Wow, right? This simple movement instantly reduces the upper back muscle spasm that builds up from just hovering over a keyboard all day long.
Okay, next is the wrist stretch. Extend one arm straight forward right in front of you, with your palm facing out, almost like you're signaling someone to stop. Now, with your other hand, gently pull your fingers backward toward you. You should feel a really good stretch right on the underside of your forearm. This is absolutely critical for combating things like carpal tunnel and tendinitis, which are directly caused by constant mouse and keyboard use during those ultra-long shifts.
Now, for these next 2 stretches, I want you to literally stand up with me right now if you can. Come on, up you get. First, the back extension. Place your hands on your lower back for a little support, and just gently arch backward. Doing this severely reduces that high, continuous pressure that builds up on your lumbar discs from sitting so much. Next, let's do a hamstring stretch. Simply stretch your legs out, reaching down towards your toes. People don't always realize this, but tight hamstrings pull directly on your lower back, so stretching them out drastically reduces lower back tension.
All right, you can sit back down now. Let's jump into the 20-20-20 eye care rule and see how we can combat computer vision syndrome. We've talked a lot about the body, but let's shift our focus over to the eyes. In a mine office, you might literally be monitoring CCTV, reading safety reports, and checking payroll all at the exact same time, sometimes in pretty poor lighting or dealing with terrible screen glare. And all of this leads directly to computer vision syndrome, which means burning, dry, blurred vision, and intense headaches from a severely reduced blinking rate. But the defense against this is stunningly simple. It centers entirely around the number 20. Here's the rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Let me repeat that because it is just so important. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. It completely forces your eye muscles to relax and reset. A real game changer for sure. Finally, let's look at building lasting office health through routine maintenance for your body. Knowing all these stretches and rules is fantastic, but how do we actually integrate them into a grueling 12-hour mine office shift? Well, we have to start treating our bodies with the exact same routine maintenance schedules we use for our heavy operational equipment. Here is the protocol. You need a 1 to 2 minute micro break every 30 minutes. You need to do the physiotherapy stretching routine we just practiced every 1 to 2 hours, and take short walks during your actual breaks. Why? Because movement is what keeps your blood circulation alive. Without that circulation, muscle fatigue sets in, your concentration completely drops, and the risk of an occupational injury absolutely skyrockets. Management also plays a huge role here with proper shift rotation and mental health support to help combat the deep psychological stress of the job. It's really the whole shebang. I want to leave you with this final essential thought from our source material. Healthy posture today prevents chronic pain tomorrow. It really is that simple, yet profoundly important. So what small adjustment are you going to make right now? Are you going to raise your monitor? Are you going to set a 20-minute timer for your eyes? The field miners put on their hard hats every single day to protect themselves. And honestly, it's time you put on your active spinal defense. Protect your long-term health and start today. Thank you so much for joining me for this